What's up, YouTube? So before we get started with this video, on first take, then you were talking about, is it about time for Tom Brady to retire? So let's see what they have to say about that.
Should Tom Brady retire?
Yes, he should. He won't, but he should. Look, people are forgetting already what the Patriots were and what Tom Brady was. They're the GOAT.
What are you talking about, Max? What people have forgotten about Tom Brady and New England Patriots? Technically, Tom Brady and the Patriots are still defending Super Bowl champions. Granted, they won't be able to protect it this year, but they're still champions until they are dethroned in a couple weeks. And who's forgot that Tom Brady's been to the last 3 Super Bowls in a row and won 2 out of those Super Bowls? Who's forgot that, Max? Who's forgot the fact that the New England Patriots and Tom Brady had one of the best records up until, I think, week 10 or 11? They were undefeated of this year. Don't quote me on that. Who's forgetting that Tom Brady made the playoffs again this year? Granted, he got knocked out, but I'm sure there's a lot of younger quarterbacks out there who wish they could have made the playoffs. So I don't know who's forgetting about Tom Brady, Max.
Like, that's the greatest dynasty ever, greatest quarterback ever, greatest coach ever. Get it. For the first half of Tom Brady's career, he was a 24 touchdown, 12 interception, 3,500-yard guy in an era where that meant more than it means today. But still, it wasn't Peyton Manning numbers. And what he had to do, because they always had a bye in the first round, what he had to do was...
And why do you have a bye in the first round, Max? Because you took care of business during the regular season, Max. That's why you had to buy. And as far as is it his fault that he plays in the trash division? That's not his fault. They've had, almost 20 years for his division to pick up their game, step up their game so they can compete with Tom Brady, but they don't do it. And also, if you want to use the narrative of, Tom Brady has a place in the trash division, that's why he's able to make the playoffs. That is true, but that falls apart once he gets to the playoffs and dominates during the playoffs. There's a reason why he has 6 rings, Max.
Get you within field goal range at the end of the game and then have the greatest field goal kicker of all time send you into the AFC Championship game. It was an enormous advantage over other teams. And he was a game manager with a strong arm who was big on third down and cool under pressure, playing for the greatest coach of all time. And then something happened. By the middle of his career, he hit his stride. As the league changed, he became a much better passer. He had better weapons around him, and he turned into like a Peyton Manning kind of producer. In addition to being clutch under pressure, the GOAT, all that stuff. But now there's been another change. Not only has the cliff come, he can still make throws. Yes, he can, but he misses guys every way you can miss a guy. Not as much last week as the week before, but he overthrows, underthrows. He still has a strong arm. Yes, you can muscle a ball when you get...
And Max, what are you talking about with this clip? Like I said, that doesn't take away the fact that he's been to the last 2 Super Bowls in a row and won 2 out of those. He made the playoffs this year, Max. Like I said, you could have your young quarterbacks that can scramble, do whatever, that didn't make the playoffs. But Tom Brady did at 42 years old. So it just doesn't make any type of sense that you call it saying this is some type of cliff. It's not like he's had multiple years of going 3-13. The man went to the Super Bowl last year and won it. This year, he made the playoffs, got knocked out, but he's still doing pretty good. Doing pretty good, especially with no weapons.
Older, but it's not going to be the same, not accurately down the field as you once did. And on top of all that, now he has fewer weapons in a league where the quarterbacks become more of a weapon. Now you look around, most of the top quarterbacks are dual threat quarterbacks. So he can't do the one thing that he learned to do really, really well as he once did it. He doesn't have the weapons. He's old, and the other players in his position can do more things who are elite. So should he retire, Stephen A? Yes, because the alternative is, let me show everyone the TB12 brand works because I'll play till I'm 100 years old, but he will get diminishing returns and it will end without glory in some other market.
So again, I don't know what Max is talking about with this cliff. Like I said, he made the playoffs this year. He's doing just fine. He has no weapons. Let's see if Tom Brady could do what Patrick Mahomes can do with that offense, with those type of weapons. Let's see if Tom Brady could do what Drew Brees has done or could do with Michael Thomas or Alvin Kamara. So it just doesn't make sense. Like I said, Max is acting like Tom Brady has had multiple years of going 3-13 and hasn't made the playoffs. I guarantee you, if Tom Brady has some weapons next year, he's gonna be putting in work. He's definitely gonna be putting in work. So let's continue.
the rest of the show and this entire week and beyond to pick you apart in that ridiculous asinine argument that you just made. But I know we're running out of time, so I'm going to say what I got to say real quick and get to y'all. I'm just playing with you, Max Kellerman. I have fun with you when it comes to Brady. Here's the reality of the situation. It is blasphemous. It is hideous. It is very disrespectful what you have said to this man, and you owe this man an apology. I want to state this for the record. That man, Max Kellerman, owes that damn Tom Brady an apology, okay? You see the weapons that this man was bereft of, that he had available to him. I'm going to remind you, I'm going to reiterate, regurgitate this point that I've made on this show many, many occasions, but in front of you two, I'm going to bring it up again. We have an individual in Antonio Brown that was accused of what we all know he was accused of. And Tom Brady, with the beautiful wife and kids, invited this man into his home. That's how desperate he was for a receiver. He didn't sit up there and say, I want you in uniform. I'm willing to give you room and board for free. You ain't got to worry about it. Come on home, okay? This is what the situation was. You look at the receivers, he only completed 7 passes to receivers, okay? We look at 60% completion rating. We know Tom Brady is better than that. 66% of his passes to receivers were completed last year. This year was at 59%. Don't get me started with the tight ends and what he had available to him, because Rob Gronkowski was out. I understand the argument that everybody can't be all world, but when you take into account that N'Keal Harry was a relative rookie, that Julian Edelman was never 100% this year, and the other weapon simply wasn't there, what do you expect of this man to do? Now, if this man had an elevated level of weapons available to him and he looked this way, I got no problems. But I don't care if it's Peyton Manning to Johnny Unitas to Brett Favre and beyond. I have never seen a quarterback throw to himself. The fact is, he doesn't have any help.
So where are you on this?
Hell no, he should retire. Hell no. This man.
No, he shouldn't retire. Like I said before, if Tom Brady's coming off multiple years of going 3-13, not making playoffs, okay, I can see that. But he went to the Super Bowl last year and he won it. He made the playoffs this year. So, I mean, and he has no type of weapons. So, actually, let me backtrack a little bit. So, Tom Brady is considered a GOAT. A GOAT will find a way to get it done. He will find a way to win and to get to the championships, even if he has no weapons. So, let me hold him to the same standards I hold for Drew Brees, and Jimmy Garoppolo, Aaron Rodgers, and all those guys. Tom Brady should have got it done this year, no matter what. But with that said, I don't think Tom Brady should retire just because he didn't win a Super Bowl this year. Like I said, there are plenty of other quarterbacks in the league right now that wish to have just made the playoffs, let alone gone to the Super Bowl the past 3 years in a row, won 2 out of those 3. And, you know, it just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense. But I don't know. Let's continue.
And need to come back, and he needs to remind the world, because, Tom Brady, a lesser version than Tom Brady, is still a top 10 quarterback in the league. Do you know? Listen, I said a lesser version. Not this year. I'm saying a lesser version of Tom Brady with weapons is still a top 10 quarterback in this league. Do you know that already this year, as horrible as they were, still a top 10 offense overall, still a top 10 passing attack? With that offense!
Belichick's a great coach.
Stephen A., what if Josh McDaniels leaves?
Who gives a damn? So what? You know, first of all,
Start all over with a new OC?
Josh McDaniels got something to prove. We saw the job he did as a head coach in Denver. You know, there's a reason why he reneged on and accepted the Indianapolis Colts offer. If he's smart, let me tell you something right now. I'm going to go to y'all. I'm just going to say this. Tom Brady was stripped of the potency necessary in order for him to be effective, to be 42 years of age and to be put in the position that he was put in. To me, come back and show the world, give me something to work with and watch what I do.
Yeah, so I definitely agree with Stephen A. Smith there. He had no weapons. And again, let me hold Tom Brady to the same standards that I do for all the other quarterbacks like Drew Brees, Jimmy Garoppolo, Aaron Rodgers, and all those other guys that I'd say aren't the GOAT, but they're great Hall of Fame quarterbacks. So Tom Brady should have got it done, okay? If you're the GOAT, you're the best ever, you should have found a way to get it done, even if you don't have any weapons. But with that said, like I said before, I don't think he should retire. I think he's still good to go. Like I said, he did there's a lot of teams out there that wish just to make the playoffs, let alone have the record that the New England Patriots have and the past 2 or 3 year records and going through the multiple Super Bowls that Tom Brady has. And so, I mean, it just doesn't make any type of sense that, Tom or Max is still trying to have his time with Tom Brady because he finally didn't make it to the Super Bowl. So, I don't know. Let's continue.
I faced them all. Peyton Manning, Brady, you name it. I faced them all. Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, you name it. the greatest player, and it's not close, was Tom Brady. And part of it is, you're right, the greatest game manager in the history of the game. By the way, his arm's the most underrated arm in the history of the game. And by the way, he's the smartest guy that I've ever gone against. Like, this guy's ridiculous. And he's tough. Like, you can't believe how tough this cat is. To me, it is a joke when you look at this team. I told you, when they were 9-1, I said, there's something wrong with this team. If they don't get a bye, they're absolutely done, one and done. I was right. Why? N'Keal Harry, by the way, that's a bust. He was going to be a bust the day he got drafted. Why? He can't run. He can't run. Julian Edelman is a slot receiver only. You got him playing outside. Who the hell's going to double him outside? He ain't going to beat anybody. He's got no speed and no length. All right, now you're going to go back in. You've got this one kid that got speed, Philip Dorsett. Yeah, he was a failure in Indianapolis. Here's his problem. He can run, but he can't play football. And your tight ends, old, slow. The team stunk. You've got a great quarterback still, in my opinion, with no weapons. When we call them weapons, what? I don't see a weapon. I see a
It's nice to have a tight end and some outside speed.
Here's the question. Here's
nice
the
to have
question.
anything.
Here's
They
the
have
question.
nothing.
To your point, Rex, here's the question you got to ask. Where would they have been without Tom Brady? I don't think you ever look at it in that way, Max. You don't.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever looked at it that way either. Like I said, if Tom Brady wasn't there and they at least made the playoffs this year, then I could easily say that they would probably be sitting below 500 right now without Tom Brady, because Tom Brady's basically the team. No disrespect to anybody else, but Tom Brady is their bread and butter. If he was only able to have one, maybe two more weapons, it'd be a different story right now. It would definitely be a different story right now. So let's continue.
You don't look at it if this particular team with no weapons without Tom Brady.
Like with who? Jimmy Garoppolo, maybe?
Whoever.